You know, they're selling y'all wolf tickets, people. You're eating them right up.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I back. Trust me, I back.
But I'm not impressed by your performance.
You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing. Shut your fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing.
I'll tell you what, bro. You know, I was out there, I was fighting all the hitters, bro. You ain't fought no hitters.
Come on, guys. It's normal.
I'm not saying I would fight you. I would kill you.
John, do you think I'm just gonna sit there and let you kill me, John? I mean, really?
No, don't be scared, homie.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the fuck he wants.
I am gonna beat you into the living death. I mean, maybe that's your job, but where I come from, you know, people like that get slapped.
That's fucking illegal.
Nick Diaz, you just shook up the world. How's that feel?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Yeah, this is a simulated death match. And you haven't simulated anybody's death yet.
I said it last year. We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
What is the game plan going in against him?
The game plan is you go in there, hit him with some good shit, don't get hit, and come home with a pocket full of cash.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Everybody's on steroids. The whole UFC, everybody.
I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna drink a Coors Light. That's a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me nothing.
Do you want to be a fighter? That is my question.
Yes, hipsters here. Haters beware. Another edition of Mixed Combat Radio. Hit that like button, subscribe, share the show. A couple housekeeping items to get to before we actually run into all the topics of today. Again, if you do not know, this is now a daily show. Yes, I know. Salute to me. Amazing. You're welcome. Monday through Friday, though Wednesday would be different because I think Wednesday would be our preview show for, let's say, the weekend's fights. Give you enough time to, let's say, listen to it on podcasts, etc. But yes, Wednesday will probably be later by an hour or two, just for convenience sake. But Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, at this time, always. Guaranteed. I'm going to be hitting the road this week for vacation. I'm still bringing my studio to at least bring you some content. It may not be live content, but I will bring you content at this time, guaranteed. I will do that. Don't worry about it. Saturdays would be left for, obviously live fight chats and media reaction shows. That will obviously depend on when the fights are. If there's earlier fights, and like in the UK, for example, etc. Obviously, know that the live fight chats can be earlier. The media reaction should be earlier. Sunday will be a Patreon-only show. Yes, I know. For those that are used to my old job, very used to Sunday being consistent for content, it will be, but it'll be Patreon only. I want to give at least the Patreon supporters one show. I know it. I'm offering a lot for free, and for everyone that's joined up for Patreon the last week or so, thank you. I'm internally grateful, but I want to at least give you one show. The rest will be free, absolutely guaranteed. Another housekeeping note: we will be launching our own Mixed Combat Radio social media handles, so Instagram, Twitter. Instagram is already live. There's already a at Mixed Combat Radio Instagram page, so go follow that. Twitter is giving me some issues because, Twitter is just some bitch shit. So we're going to deal with that probably within the next 24, 48 hours, so that would be open as well at Mixed Combat Radio, where that will be live when it is live. So anyone out there that wants to be a social media director of MCR, hit me up at mixedcombatradio at gmail.com. And also, I am looking for some co-hosts. Yes. So obviously, because of the show's varied, not platform, but content base, I want to cover, we had EBI yesterday for Eddie Bravo's Invitational for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I definitely want to get someone, that knows Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu better than I do. I've done it. I've been to Bob Arum's gym, but I am definitely not an expert at BJJ. I would love an expert to be here for those type of cars. So if you're out there, if you know your shit, please hit me up. Again, this email down here, right there, Mixed Combat Radio, right there, yeah. And also Muay Thai. I do not watch Muay Thai enough as much as I should. Same with like kickboxing, Glory Kickboxing. If anyone out there is a huge fan of those sports and wants to add some content to this sphere, definitely hit me up at that email again. Like I've said, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com. I definitely want to get some more expertise in this panel, so to speak. Obviously, some people are lined up to sort of be in here, but I'm not expecting anyone to be as active as I am every day of the week. So, again, hit me up at Mixed Combat Radio if you want to join the movement. Again, and also we are a money drive status right now. Go to patreon.com, go support. All of that money right now is going towards equipment. It's around $400 to $500 for the equipment and software I need to get phone calls going up and to be able to pay for like blog talk and everything like that to get you guys on here. So definitely go do that. Now, I know that was a bunch of housekeeping news. I'm sorry for anyone that's new to the show. It usually isn't like this, so I apologize. Gunshots for me for doing that. I'm sorry. But let's just get right into it because so much, I think, not necessarily happened. But there's news out there. It's a Monday. There always seems to be a lot of news out there, especially with the new MMA shows that are out there, such as Ariel Helwani's and Luke Thomas's, and the new arrangement with Ariel Helwani leaving to ESPN. A bunch of news coming out within the last hour of show production. So I don't have all of the probably the pertinent news out there for the MMA sphere. Again, we can always cover that tomorrow, so don't worry about it. But jumping right into boxing, because as I've said in other shows, and if you're new to this, boxing will exclusively be covered in the first half of the show. For all of the people that follow me from the Boxing Voice, I did this for you. MMA and everything else, such as Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, will be in the second half of the show to keep you guys happy, you degenerate bastards. But digressing. Eddie Hearn, another degenerate bastard himself, definitely has come out and just, man, I don't know, man. Should we start playing the music now? Man, I don't know yet, guys. I don't know if I should be really worried here, but because Eddie Hearn is definitely making a lot of fuss about Wilder not wanting this fight. They've had the contract allegedly for a week. Blah 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 blah. I'm not going to delve into the minutia of it because if you follow me on my last platform, we did that already. I feel like we cover that ad nauseum. So I'm gonna say this: this fight is on. It's on the teetering point of what's gonna happen. I think Triple G Canelo being finalized kind of hurt it, to be honest. They wanted that September date. They wanted Wembley. I don't think they want to go to Cardiff, especially Josh. I don't think he wants to go to Cardiff. I think he wants that 90,000 in London. But I don't know. This is just all crazy. I think Potential Lunatic said he's putting the heat on Wilder to sign all posturing. And you know what? That's probably what it is, to be realistic and to be pragmatic. It's just the posturing of the negotiation like it has been for the last, 3 months? Mike saying Wembley ain't available till February, March. Yeah, exactly. That's why, because that September date is allegedly off the table, I think Joshua and team are saying, let's just fight Povetkin in September at Cardiff and then fight Wilder in February at Wembley. I think it's coming closer to where that might happen. And this week, I feel like I keep saying this though, but this week seems like it might be the point where if it doesn't happen this week, or what are we really thinking is realistic here? You know? Johnny saying posturing, laughing face emoji. What is this? Need more than 8 weeks shit if Wilder is easy work. No, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we know how these big fights go. I think both sides are saying bullshit to the media all the time and posturing, and that's just the name of the game. That's the dance for big time fights, is this sort of shit. And it sucks for the hardcores. The casuals are in and out of it. Like, us hardcores have to live with this shit every day for this bullshit, basically. This drama that is not even a big drama show. It's a little drama show. The fight hasn't even happened yet. But this is what they do. This is how they drum up some. This is how they think that's going to drum up casual interest, and it arguably is working. I would say, metric wise, this Matt rocking the reptilian shirt, you like it? House of TYT, you know what that means. But yeah, it is what it is. Mike saying promotion, duh. Yeah, you guys are. It's all promotion. It is. It's all the song and dance and it is what it is. But I want to get you guys in the comment section below, especially if you listen on podcast form or later or in the live fight chat. Does it happen? Does it happen this year, 2018? I will put a poll up on Patreon as well to sort of get a gauge of what you guys think. But yeah, it's so frustrating at this point. I'm just so upset. But to digress to maybe more happier news, because I mean, this is. Thank you. The boxing gods have looked upon us, guys, and they said we're gonna get this fight. Usyk versus Gassiev. Finally, it seems is official. July 21st, Olympic Stadium in Moscow, Russia, for the undisputed cruiserweight championship of the world. Plus, oh my God, I love this.
OMG, I am so excited.
Yes. Cecilia Brækhus will be on the event along with Denis Shafikov, Konstantin Ponomarov. They are stacking with this card with Russian and Eastern European talents. I cannot wait. I'm Vader Tunov's on the card, whatever. Andreev, I've been hearing about him, but I really have never seen a fight of his, so I probably need to go watch his. But yes, I mean, it's here, guys. It's next month. It's literally 2 or 3 weeks away. Shout out to them not needing 8 weeks to promote it. But damn, salute to them. I need to do that. That's just it. This is probably the best fight in boxing right now that is made. I would argue that for us hardcores, this should be better than Triple G Canelo, and that may be blasphemous. I know. But I do. I think this is just better. This is a better stylistic matchup. It's two undefeated fighters in the prime of their career for an undisputed championship at the end of this great tournament that's just been phenomenal for this division. I am really hyped for this. A lot of disagreement in the chat already about Usyk and Gassiev about who will win this. Definitely agree it's a close fight. Stylistically, it's going to be very interesting to see who can dictate their rhythm, their pace in the matchup. Mike saying not the same level though, Matt. I mean, obviously, in terms of like magnitude, like Canelo's bigger, Triple G's bigger than these individual parts. But in terms of what it could produce, the fight it could produce, I can see Usyk Gassiev being better than Canelo Triple G 1 for sure. Right? Can we not see that in terms of being a fight and its significance to the division? Because this is still more significant for the division than Canelo Triple G. You guys are hilarious in the chat. But I mean, come on, we still have Billy Joe Saunders out there. We still got Jamal Charlo out there. We still got Daniel Jacobs out there. There is still players at middleweight outside of Canelo Triple G that I think a lot of people are picking to beat those guys. With Usyk Gassiev, it is only them, and they have all the belts. It will be for the undisputed kingpin of the division, and it's probably going to end up being, if not a trilogy, at least a rematch down the line. George saying say no to drugs. You guys are hilarious. I just want to say, just salute to you guys. That was good. That was good. But let me know in the chat, in the comment section below, what you think of this matchup. Are you happy it's finally finalized? I know maybe U.S. fans have been a little bit disconnected from the World Boxing Super Series, and that's just entirely on their fault. We all know that. I'm not even going to get into that because that's just a fucking rabbit hole, to say the least. But yeah, shout out to this fight. This is my personal favorite fight of the year so far that's been made. That's official, at least. It's up there. It's way better than a Robert Easter, Mikey Garcia. It's up there with the Canelo Triple G, if not better. I don't know. I'm just saying. But moving on to the next piece of news. Actually, we're gonna skip that because I put in the the show description and talk about fucking Crawford, Matthysse, but we're not gonna do that because I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. But a fighter that's coming back off of his first loss that I think is first off surprising that it's this fast, but I like it and just want to make note of it. Joseph Diaz versus Jesus Rojas in play for August 11th. Quick turnaround after his first career loss for a WBA interim champion. Legendary boxer in the chat. What a man. Well, I want to read your comment specifically. AJ, the Lion politician, old Max Kellerman, he won't be rushed to fight Wilder till 2019 or 2020. Google it. Okay. You keep going, legendary boxer. I'm just glad you're here, man. I'm just glad you're here. But Joseph Diaz versus Jesus Rojas, I think this is a good bounce back fight. Definitely interesting to see where he goes from here. Because I think he put on a really good fight against Gary Russell. I think we forget that if he just actually had a game plan that he could execute, he might have beat that Gary Russell Jr. He was landing hard shots. He was landing the better shots. He was the bigger fighter. But he just didn't have a game plan. And he didn't follow through with it. He had no jab. Legendary Boxing, talk about Virgil Ortiz. Also, he's a beast and the best prospect on Golden Boy. I still have not seen the card. I saw the finish on Twitter. But yeah. Matt, you're just going to be a radio host or going to go get in the field and do interviews and the whole 9 yards? You shine in the field, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Ivan Diaz, in the chat. I don't know yet. Obviously, it's about resources. Like, where are my resources best served? If I have maybe some more people up here doing the show, I can give them the reins of the show here and there. Yeah, I can definitely go on the road. And obviously, I got connects in LA, so I can always do that. But it's just a lot of work for not necessarily the best amount of views, if that makes sense. Like this, even though running a show by yourself now is kind of difficult, it's a little bit more easy to manage than going out in the field, doing interviews, all the editing, production work. They upload the Legendary Boxer talking about the Virgil Ortiz fight, saying they upload the full fight on Golden Boy's YouTube channel. Oh, salute to them for doing that. I have ESPN, so I could always just like watch it on ESPN, like playback on their.com. That's how I usually watch ESPN fights. But yeah, digressing a bit. Just shout out to Joseph Diaz. Glad he's back. Glad he's didn't really like fade into obscurity because he put on a really good fight against Gary Russell Jr. Where I think a lot of people are thinking he can bounce back and do something still. I mean, look at Leo Santa Cruz. Like Leo Santa Cruz was a one-trick pony, very basic fighter. He lost to Carl Frampton, and then look at what he's done since. Like the perception of Leo Santa Cruz going forward. Oh, sorry, forgot to skip back to me. But I think that's the case. I think it's one of those things where maybe Joseph Diaz needed that loss, and then all of a sudden he's going to flip that switch, become a better boxer, like Leo did. I think that's definitely within the realm of possibility, at least. I think fighters learn from losses, or at least top fighters do. But moving on to another guy that's having a comeback fight, which you already saw, but whatever. Srisaket, Rungvisai versus Young Gil Bae, who's South Korean. July 21st in Thailand for a non-title 10-rounder at 118 pounds, a division higher. Obviously, Kit Kat Bar, as we like to call him, Rungvisai definitely took some time off. He had a split with his girlfriend, not a wife. I don't think it was his wife officially, but split with his longtime romantic partner. Split with his manager as well. So I think he just wanted a easy tune-up fight in his home country, which he's going to get. Doesn't have to cut the same amount of weight. Turned down the Superfly 3 headliner for this. I'm not surprised. I know the money that HBO is offering those fighters for the Superfly event isn't that high. And maybe, Rungvisai is thinking, I need to get this tune-up and clear my head. Legendary Boxer saying Rungvisai deserves a homecoming. He earned it. Absolutely agree with that. Great point. I like the row that he went through after basically Roman Gonzalez, that first fight, was tough. The second fight, right back, even though it was a much easier fight, no one suspected that. No one thought that he was going to have this much easier outing with Roman Gonzalez in the second fight. Heck, people thought Roman Gonzalez was going to win that one. And then he put on the fight with Estrada. That was a hell of a fight, a hell of a war. So, George Porter saying, Young Gil, who is that? No one knows, man. No one knows. God, it's sad, excuse me, that we don't know who he is. I mean,
who the fuck is that guy?
I know, Connor. It's crazy. But, hey, that happened in Thailand. If you look at, like, Manothane's record, any sort of, like, prime Thai fighter, they have non-title fights all the time at higher weight classes, different weight classes, just to get money. And they fight fucking 10 times a year. It's crazy. Like, Winhang Manothane has, like 49 victories, right? But not all, like, the past, 10 fights of his, only half of them have been title fights. You know, it's interesting to think about. But moving on, this is the point where if you are purely, actually not really purely, because I want to take this next topic a little more macro to cover boxing as well. But this is the point, ladies and gentlemen, where if you do not want to listen to MMA, it's your time. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We don't want you anymore. Legendary Boxing, will you do the call-in thing for viewers? Obviously, I don't have the equipment for call-ins. I addressed that at the top of the show. Go listen to that on playback maybe to get the full gist of it. I just don't want to repeat it again. But Josh Barnett, former UFC heavyweight champion, was he ever like a Pride Grand Prix winner? No, I don't think so. I don't think he was. I don't think he was. Was he Strikeforce? Nah, wasn't Strikeforce champion. Lost to Dana Cormier in the World Grand Prix final. But anyways, digressing. Josh Barnett confirming he is leaving the UFC. Yes, I know. Predominantly due to the USADA deal. And this is where I want to take it maybe a little more macro to cover boxing as well. Because I think boxing is obviously a few years behind the curve on what the UFC is doing with USADA. But the limitations of it, the gaps in the system, etc., the criticisms of the system are applicable to both boxing and the World Boxing Council's Clean Boxing Program deal, or program, I should say, and then obviously USADA's deal with the UFC. They are interchangeable criticisms, I would say, though the UFC is just much more macro in terms of just the size of it, like how much of an issue it's become apparent, basically. And for all those that kind of do not know the case of Josh Barnett, even though he had pot for PEDs twice before, this last time was very odd. He got no suspension after an arbitration in the USADA doping case. It was a year and a half, basically, of arbitration. Had to hire a retainer, a lawyer, go before a mediator, etc. And he got no suspension. He got a public reprimand. And they proved it was a tainted supplement. Similar in the vein of, let's say, Canelo with tainted meat. Very similar aspect. If you look at Brandon Moreno's case in the UFC, literally same thing, pot for clenbuterol in Mexico. They gave him no suspension. But Josh Barnett's reasoning behind it is pretty fascinating, so I just want to read out this quick paragraph from his full statement, which you can find on Facebook. So if you do, just go over there and check that out. This is Josh Barnett's words. The debacle with USADA over the last year and a half has also influenced my decision to exit the UFC. Their dogged insistence to punish me for what they absolutely knew was an issue of contamination was unethical. By trying to manufacture any reason they could legitimize to increase sanctions against me was unacceptable. For their stance to necessitate my retaining counsel and do legal battle with them in the presence of an arbitrator was unnecessary. They preferred an adversarial to a just and fair process. I cannot in good conscience trust them to act in good faith, or perhaps may even wish to look to enact some sort of vengeance in an attempt to cancel out my victory against them in arbitration. It's not the kind of environment that I want to spend the final years of my career in. And wow, I just want to... That is an issue that I think is really starting to affect combat sports is anti-doping, the programs within it, And this all basically comes from, obviously, the lack of unionization and collective bargaining by these athletes. But that's a very different topic, so I'm not going to address that. But this idea that there is a level, not a level of corruption, a level of the system is broken. Like this, the idea, the paradigm that we have in our head of what PD is and PD testing is completely and utterly and fundamentally wrong. And it's one of those things where I don't know really if there is a clear path to an easy and efficient solution to the system we have and the systematic issues we have within PD testing and the regulation of it. The fact that we do have this connection, this monetary connection between these regulatory bodies and these sanctioning bodies or promotional bodies, whatever you want to call them, that is a fundamental flaw to the system we have. Whether it be, again, the not World Boxing Super Series, WBC and the clean boxing program, or if it's USADA and the UFC. It is a similar issue where the financial behind it is just concerning. The financial leverage, so to speak, that's behind it is very concerning. Mike saying the states we don't give a fuck about something until a tragedy, and you're right. It's gonna take a tragedy to sort of make this different, in my opinion. I mean, this is, and it's not like we have the government regulatory bodies like the Nevada State Athletic Commission be any better. I mean, they're the same body that, and again, that's another one that monetarily have a connection to what is happening within the sport. You know, they're not completely separated and an independent body, so to speak. They aren't. Monetarily, they aren't. The NSAC is not monetarily independent from the fighters, from the promotion, from the sanctioning bodies. They are not. And they gave Nick Diaz a 5-year suspension. They gave Floyd Mayweather nothing, for weed. It's just a very interesting thing. They gave Floyd Mayweather a slap on the wrist, like, "Oh, we still love you, Floyd," when he got caught with weed in the whole all access video, and he said it was fake weed. It was prop weed, right? Come on, man. Like, what are we joking here? Like, are we really going to play this game? Nick Diaz got a 5-year suspension. Obviously, he had to take him to court and got a settlement and got it reduced to a 1.5 years. It's one of those cases where there's no consistency, and you can see why. You can fundamentally see why there's zero consistency in anything that's being done, and it's just rather unfortunate. It is what it is. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Legendary Boxer, what did Floyd do? That was for the All Access. I forget which fight it was. I want to say it was the Maidana rematch. And he had some shorties roll up some weed. Nick Diaz was under the legal limit, like the regulatory limit. And that was proven. Like, Nick Diaz should have got 0 suspension. Floyd Mayweather is seen with weed, and they give him a slap on the wrist. Like, it's just... But I know you guys saying Floyd didn't piss hot, but neither did Nick Diaz. Do you guys not remember that case? Diaz failed many tests. No, I'm talking about one individual case. You guys can... each case is separate from the others. I know you guys don't understand that. It's double jeopardy. It's the same concept in a sense. But Nick Diaz, when he got popped and he got sent for that 5-year, they literally proved that it was under the limit. He should not have got a suspension. You can go watch the commission hearing. I mean, that was big time back, 2015? 2015? Come on. It's ridiculous. Chavez got fucking a huge amount. It was crazy. Nick smoked on camera. But that's not what he got suspended for. Like, you can smoke weed out of competition. That's the point. Like, I don't know if you guys know that. Like, there's a competition window that's 12 hours before the fight, 12 hours after. You can't smoke. You can't be tested above the threshold in that time frame. So let's say it's a week out from your fight, or let's say 2 days out from the fight, and you take a test, and it pops above the threshold. Then you take a test within the competition time, which they do, and it's under the limit. You're fine. You should be technically completely fine. In Nick Diaz's case, it was not. But yeah. Anyways, digressing. It's just the system we have of regulation is completely flawed, borderline corrupt, if not corrupt, and it's gonna take a lot of time to fix. But just want to say that. Oh, okay, legendary boxer. Like I don't know why you're so defensive of Floyd with the weed thing. Like it's. I smoke weed. Like, I don't care if he did. But they literally brought him in and were going to give him a fine and shit for it. And they didn't. And they literally thanked him for everything. Come on, legendary boxer. What are you doing here? Go back to your one Parade account. I like that. I like the secondary legendary boxer account a lot more than this one. But yeah, shout out to Josh Barnett. Probably going to go to Bellator or Japan. Maybe ONE FC. I don't know what he does. Maybe he tries to be a free agent in some capacity. I don't know if that really can happen, though, in today's age in MMA. But Josh Barnett, always been perennial contender, always been a fun interview, a fun guy to watch and see. Shout out to Josh Barnett for doing his thing. And I completely agree. It's good for him. It's good for him probably to get out of the situation, because I think USADA would have retaliated. And if it's not USADA, it's the UFC in conjunction with it. But yes, digressing to another topic. I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Jorge Masvidal accepts Leon Edwards' challenge, waiting on the UFC call. So, are we buying or selling this main event in the UK? It's legendary boxer. Come on, man. Like, God, like you just can't behave in the live chat. It's okay. I really don't need you here. I'll be fine. But Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards. I mean, do we like this fight? I kind of don't. I'll be very honest. I think this fight makes little to no sense. I think Leon Edwards would just school fucking Jorge Masvidal. I think he would just do the same thing he did to Don Cerrone. He's better at moving. He's a better striker. I think he's better at grappling and wrestling at this point. Obviously, probably bigger, since both Jorge Masvidal and Don Cerrone are lightweights that moved up to 170. Yeah, I think Edwards doesn't need this. I think the best thing for him is a Kamaru Usman rematch. I think if he gets that loss back, it will do wonders for him. I think in terms of the UFC's eyes. And plus, I think he needs to beat a wrestler like Usman. I want to see that. Mike, I didn't block Legendary Boxer. He's in timeout. Don't worry. He is funny. I love Legendary Boxer, but he's ridiculous, man. You turn all caps off. Type like a normal person, Legendary Boxer. Gosh, it's annoying. Leon Edwards, go beat that wrestler in Kamaru Usman. Get that loss back. Show us what you can do in that style matchup, which I think I still want to see. Because if he can't get past the Kamaru Usman, then he can't get past a Colby Covington or a Tyron Woodley. Like, he just can't do that, in my opinion. So it just makes more sense. I think Masvidal versus, I don't know, anyone else Masvidal. I really don't want to see you fight Leon Edwards. It just makes no sense to me. It might do well as like a fight pass, a little card in Manchester. But it's a matchup that will be exciting, I guess, but it will be one-sided still. in its excitement. It will still be an easy fight for Leon Edwards. It's not that hard, but just want to say, what do you guys think? Buy or sell on that in the Manchester area? I think it's where it's allegedly, rumored to be negotiated for. Let me know if you like it or not in the comment section below. And oh my God, I'm so happy. When I saw this morning, I got happy, guys. I was really pumped for this news. The Russian Al Capone, guys, he's coming back home. He's coming back home. Yes, Nikita Krylov to negotiate potential UFC Moscow return. This is it, guys. This is it. We needed Nikita Krylov in the light heavyweight division. He is the truth, the answer. Any guy that does that. And obviously he can't do any more with the fucking Reebok deal, but God, I love watching Nikita Krylov fights. A guy that's improved drastically over his professional career. And plus, light heavyweight definitely needs some fresh names. OSP just beat Tyson Pedro. Like, they still have really nobody that is like the next guy. Like, they don't have the next generation after the DC and the Jones era is over. Like, Gustafson's not going to be around that much longer either. Like, I really don't see these guys lasting another 5-10 years. So in 10 years from now, who's going to be the guy? I have no idea. Maybe it's Nikita Krylov. Just saying. The Russian Al Capone. Just saying. Mike Gross in the chat saying, any news on John Jones? Well, maybe not news on John Jones per se, directly, but in conjunction. Shout out to Ariel Helwani's new show on ESPN. But yes, Ariel Helwani on his new show on ESPN had obviously the plethora of interviews that he usually had on the MMA Hour at MMAfighting.com. But Sundu over at Sundu MMA, great guy, great reporter, especially a great UK reporter as well. Saying hashtag Helwani show, definitely go check it out. Daniel Cormier told at Ariel Helwani following his fight with Stipe Miocic at UFC 226, he can squeeze in 2 more fights before retirement. Ideally, would like those final fights to be, John Jones and Brock Lesnar. I know, guys. I know. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think John Jones, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in the chat, his suspension's up sometime this summer, I want to say. And I think that we're going to see a John Jones, Daniel Cormier fight either last quarter of this year or first half of next year. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think John Jones is just going to hang around, do whatever he does throughout the day other than doing cocaine and strippers. I think he's going to be doing his thing. And I think in about a year from now, maybe 6 months from now, 9 months from now, whenever it's going to be, he's going to fight Daniel Cormier. He's going to beat Daniel Cormier pretty handily, in my opinion. And then he's going to fight Brock Lesnar at heavyweight. Yep. I think that's going to happen for a heavyweight title where John Jones is the champion. And we're going to have Brock Lesnar come back. Rob in the chat saying hell in a cell. Yes, Rob, you. Come on, Rob. What are you doing here? You're making me look bad. But yes, shout out to Daniel Cormier for mapping out his retirement. I think it might be only 1 fight instead of 2, but it is what it is. I definitely think John Jones, Daniel Cormier are forever going to be linked. And after this Daniel Cormier-Stipe Miocic fight happened, which, still have a fight for Daniel Cormier to potentially win, John Jones is probably going to fight the winner of that fight. I could see him just leaving light heavyweight to like an Alexander Gustafsson fucking vacant title shot against someone. I can 100% see that happening. I think that's not without the question at all. How do you snort a stripper, says Rob in the chat. You don't, Rob. We're just gonna move on.
Stay in your lane.
That was bad. Shout out to another piece of breaking news, and this is just Just amazing. Just amazing news. Bellator MMA will launch a welterweight Grand Prix September 29. Card will include Rory McDonald, Michael Venom Page, Douglas Lima, and Paul Daly. That deserved two air horns. Curtis Cooper just calling back to what the last topic was. Coke and strippers is part of John Jones' workout plan. That is absolutely true. That's not a diss at all. I think he does it very well. But yeah, I mean, God, Rory McDonald, Michael Venom Page, Douglas Lima, Paul Daly, 4 others in the tournament, or I think it's an 8-man tournament, I believe is what it's going to be. So they're probably all going to get easy fights in the first round and then fight each other in the quarterfinals or semifinals and then fight each other in the final. But anyways, wow. And I think the part that I am most hyped about is Michael Venom Page. He is finally going to be tested in a major combat sport. Because obviously he had a great point kickboxing career, but he hasn't had a great MMA career. Rob saying the Michael Venom Page, yes, that one, the one that just had a boxing fight, like a week or two ago? Yes, he would be in this Bellator World Grand Prix tournament against Rory McDonald, who is the current Bellator 170-pound welterweight champion, Douglas Lima, and obviously Paul Daly. Wow, I'm hyped. Just shout out to this fight for happening. This is not fight for just the Grand Prix. I think that's one of their best divisions, if not the best division at this point for Bellator. Makes sense to sort of match them all up together and put on a tournament. I think Rory McDonald should be the favorite, but hell, I mean, if anyone's going to come out here and potentially win it all and not be Rory McDonald, maybe it is Michael Venom Page. Maybe it is this guy all of a sudden, boom, realizing all of his talent in the world, and he's the new Anderson Silva. We're going to find out finally. It's either that, or I think we're going to see Michael Venom Page go over to boxing for the rest of his career after this. But yeah, shout out to Bellator for putting this on, Scott Coker. Bellator is still at least putting on some sort of content. It's not the best, but stuff like this helps. Stuff like this absolutely helps. And also, want to add to it, I don't know how it's going to happen, which one's going to happen first, but Rory McDonald is fighting Gegard Mousasi at middleweight for the middleweight championship while also being this Grand Prix at the same time concurrently. I don't know. I forget the dates on the Gegard Mousasi fight. Maybe Ron in the chat knows a little bit more. Shout out to Fighter IQ. Go check out his channel. I don't know, but that's interesting. Rory McDonald maybe just biting too much than he can handle, and that's where we might see a Michael Venom Page huge upset, dark horse sort of come in and take over, sort of the division. But shout out to the second biggest MMA promotional company. But that is, that's not it. Whoa. I'm so sorry. What was I thinking? That's for me. I'm doing that to myself. I'm also doing that to myself again. I think I will cover the full Eddie Bravo Invitational from yesterday tomorrow. I have yet to see it all. I deeply apologize to any of my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, hardcore fans out there. I've watched everything but the semifinals and the finals, and it was amazing from what I saw. And then I got busy with the kiddo. So I'll watch that again probably tonight. And again, tomorrow we will cover that. And obviously whatever news is in the next 24 hours is going to drop. Proddy J saying another episode of MCR. Is this real life? I totally need that soundbite. Is this real life? I definitely need that shit. But yes, every day there will be MCR content. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Every day on those days. Wednesday, I'm moving to 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. And that would be for reviews. That's going to be the review show for the weekend's fights coming up. I haven't even checked the calendar this week. I'm awful, guys. I deeply apologize. I've just been doing a lot lately. But wherever fights are this weekend, Wednesday is the preview show. So if you want to get your picks in, etc., make sure you comment on that show, not in the live chat. Even though I love all you guys in here, Fight IQ, Georgie Porgy, Rob, Mike, Curtis. I think Igloo was in there for a second. Weed Degree was in there. Ike. Who else? Legendary Boxer, come back. I know I probably pissed you off. You're going to go cry to someone, I know. Who else? Who else was in here? Johnny was in here. What up, Johnny? I think that was pretty much it. One Parade, or a.k.a. Legendary Boxer's other account. Ivan Diaz, Potential Lunatic. All of you guys for just being awesome. For everyone that has subscribed to the channel, thank you. For everyone that has joined up to patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio, thank you. But yes, be back tomorrow for another edition of Mixed Combat Radio. You can find me at Mixed Combat. No, sorry. Whoa. You can find me at Matt Hunter MCR, all platforms. Mixed Combat Radio, all platforms. Again, like I said at the top of the show, I am starting up an Instagram page, a Twitter page, etc. for Mixed Combat Radio. So that would be, you can just search that, and that you can find on Facebook, all social medias, etc. Stay up to date on the show. And it allows me to sort of, on my own personal account, do more personal things and have that be the channel account, so to speak. We are now on Spreaker.com, Podcast Addict, etc. We're on a ton of platforms at this point. We're going to be on Spotify and iHeartRadio soon. But yes. And what else? Obviously, YouTube.com/Mixed Combat Radio. Yeah, that's about it. Have a good one, everyone. Hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend, Remember, this channel is not monetized, so we hit 1,000 subscribers. So we need you guys to help support, and we need you guys to spread the word. Tell a friend. Tell all of your work buddies that know about Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, hey, go subscribe to this channel. This guy's going to do big things. So go check that out, and just go do that. It helps. It just helps drastically. What else? I think that's it for housekeeping. Yeah. Be out of here. Peace. Have a good day.